So welcome to another edition of Living United with Nashua Business. I'm your host, Mike Affelberg. Today we're going to do a little bit different of a show than we've done in the past. You'll recall past episodes we've actually interviewed local businesses and talked about how they give back to the community and what giving back means to them from a business perspective and how philanthropy looks for them. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to actually talk about one of our upcoming events at United Way, which is called the Blizzard Blast. And let me tell you a little bit about what that event is in a minute after we take a quick look at our promotional video that we have airing both online and at Chunky's right now. So welcome back. As you can see, the Blizzard Blast is going to be just an awesome event. We're pretty excited about it. Last year was our first year running this event. We've never done an obstacle course race before at United Way, but one of the things we like to do is make sure that the fundraisers that we're doing are different than the fundraisers that other nonprofits run in the community, mostly because we really don't want to be competitive with other partners of ours and take away from their success. Have our success be something which takes away from theirs. So nobody does an obstacle course race, and absolutely nobody does an obstacle course race in the middle of winter. So that is what we're doing at United Way this year. June 25th, that is the weekend between the NFC and AFC championships and the Super Bowl. We're going to have 25 to 28 obstacles set up in Mine Falls Park.
January 25th.
Yeah, January 25th.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we're going to have about a 3.5 mile course set up for that. We're going to have a professional timing system in place. Last year we had about 450 participants and just an awesome event. We're hoping for, just miserable, awful, terrible weather, preferably a blizzard, so it is in keeping with the name. Last year the weather was actually pretty beautiful. Yeah. It was about 28 degrees, sunny skies, and everybody had an awesome time. So what we want to do today is actually talk a little bit about how you, as a participant, what can you expect at the Blizzard Blast and how can you prepare for the Blizzard Blast so that you have just the most successful race possible for whatever condition you happen to be in. So to do that, I have with me today our special guest, Dave Hooper. Dave is the owner of business here in Nashua called Train 180. Train 180 is a functional fitness business. It's a gym. It's a very specific type of a gym that works on functional fitness and training athletes for obstacle course racing. So Dave is going to talk with us a little bit about how to gear up, what you should wear, what sort of exercises might make you more effective, and just generally I guess how I would say it, how you can survive and have a great time at Blizzard Blast 2020 with the United Way. So Dave, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you on today.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I don't know about you, or how are you feeling about this event? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm excited. Anything having to do with running through the snow or the cold, I'm definitely all about it.
You're a crazy person, I have to say. My wife actually might participate this year.
More the merrier.
I was telling you, she and I have been sort of trying to lose a little bit of weight, get in shape, but she's doing more to get in shape. I'm just losing weight. But she's been running, and she said to me, honey, you know what? I might volunteer a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can run the event this year. Yeah. So maybe you can give her some pointers while we're talking today.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your business. What do you do at Train 180?
So I am the owner and trainer there, and I've been there for about 6 years. And it's like you said, a functional fitness facility. So there's a lot of body weight type of exercises, plyometrics.
Plyometrics, what is that?
It's like using your own body weight as fitness. So basically a lot of the training goes back to old school military type training. So using your own body weight. There's walls to scale. There's ropes to climb. There's things to scale across. And obstacle course racing is kind of, they've sort of branched out from the military training.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the courses have originated from, is like a lot of these old school military type.
Camp.
Yeah, boot camp style, like Spartan and Tough Mudder. So the gym is, it's 5,000 square foot facility. You've been in there.
I have. That's pretty big. That's pretty big space.
Yeah, that's one portion of the business. And then it's old school. I mean, the building's 1890, so it's very raw, which suits the training, especially for something like this, where people are going to be out in the middle of January or the end of January. So, so we do, I train there. I have small groups, I have large groups, and we get people ready for obstacle course races, and we help people just get more fit.
And your athletes who you train, they go to obstacle course races all over the world, I presume.
True. Yep. Mostly the stuff is in the States, but there has been some travel to abroad, and the races, all the obstacle races can range from 3 miles or a mile, even all the way up to an ultra type of event, which is 30 plus miles. So and everything in between.
You've done both the Tough Mudder and the Spartan race, I presume. Yeah.
Right.
I know that you've done a bunch of Spartans because you have like lots of medals and stuff there in your gym.
Yeah.
How would you say Blizzard Blast compares in sort of its level of intensity and just the overall difficultness to other kinds of obstacle course races that you've done?
Yeah, well, the first thing is it's in the middle of January. So that's sort of unlike a lot of other races. A lot of these races start up in maybe March or April, and they go all the way to the fall.
So the weather is nicer.
The weather is nicer. The conditions are a lot different. This is sort of not uncharted territory, but it's not too common to have a race in the middle of winter like this.
Right.
So that's unique in itself. The obstacles are very similar to what you'd see at like a Spartan or Tough Mudder, like walls to get over, small and big walls, things to scale across, like traversing across obstacles, carries. These are all like staple type exercises and obstacles that you'd see in any obstacle race. So
so we use a lot of kegs. As you know, we have
so many kegs.
Keg carry. We have this thing called Keg Kingdom where you swing from one to the other.
Yeah.
It's kind of like monkey bars on steroids.
It's crazy. I mean, but back to your question, I think it's what's great about it is it's all levels. Any level athlete or newbie up to a professional can run this race. Yeah. Because it's very fun. I think it's at the end of the day, it's just a very fun race to be out there and enjoying the outside when it's in January.
Well, this was our first foray into any kind of event like this, and one of the registration options is for people who want to run multiple laps. And I know that when I was first planning this out with you and with our friend Fred, I said, does anybody really do that? We had one guy last year ran like 5 laps.
Yeah.
Well, how do you like 25? That's like 25 miles or 15 miles, whatever.
Yeah.
And doing like 25 obstacles 5 times.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
It is crazy, especially considering the conditions could be a blizzard.
Absolutely.
But I think again back to the point where this race can be 3 miles, so the entry level athlete can do it. And take the time and just battle through it and have fun.
Right.
Or you got some seasoned athletes and ultra type athletes that can just keep going and pack up the mileage.
That's right. So we got about 2 months left to the event.
Yeah.
And so what would you think at this point? I know we brought a lot of stuff with us to demonstrate and show people. About 15, 16 minutes left for our show. Yeah. What are some of the things that you might say somebody should focus on who's preparing at this point for the Blizzard Blast?
Well, the first thing is gear. I mean, this race, if you had to put a window on it, it could be, negative degrees, all the way up to maybe 30, 35. Last year was, maybe 30. Yeah. So maybe that window of, so that's a big window, but typically you got to be pretty cold. So I think we should cover gear and
let's take a look and see what you have.
So,
and this is gear that people should bring with them. Their clothing, the things they wear, the things they
want to wear at the race, during the race. So the first thing you want to do is layer up. People might not know how to dress exactly for something like this, but you definitely want layers. And the first layer that you want to put on is something very tight, like compression or fitted.
Okay.
That's going to help out. So an example would be, something like long compression pants. These are nice and tight. These are actually fleece lined. So these would stay nice and tight to your body. You'd start with a layer like that.
Yep.
Okay, and then
I know you said some of this is a little bit stinky, so I'll not hold it too close to me. But
don't go too close to this stuff.
Okay, so fleece line, that's pretty cool.
It is. Yep. So another one, obviously, that's the bottoms. The tops would be something like this. Under Armour makes a great line of cold gear.
Yeah.
This is like a thicker type compression.
Okay.
And this is excellent to have as a first layer. So you'd start off with something like that, your compression top and bottom.
Where would you get, obviously you can get this online, but if you want to try it on, maybe like a Dick's Sporting Goods, something
Dick's
like that?
would sell it, yeah. For a better deal, I would say nothing against Dick's. You probably want to just search online and see if you can score a better deal.
Sure.
But you'd start with a base layer like that, and then you'd start layering on after that. So a good mid layer would be something like a wool blend.
Okay.
This is a long sleeve wool blend that would go over your base layer. So you get something like that. Okay, so this is the mid layer that you'd want. And then on top of that, of your pants. So you might want something like this, which is like just like your general exercise type pant.
Like a nylon type pant.
Yeah, pretty tight, pretty thin.
Yeah.
This would, because you're going to be crawling down, you're going to be in the snow. Yeah. Your hands are going to be in the snow, your body's going to be in the snow, which makes it all the more fun. So that being said, obviously your hands want to be protected.
Yep.
So 2 versions of gloves that are really helpful. There's no perfect glove for this type of event, but these are both something you can get at Home Depot or your hardware store, Lowe's. This is just a general work glove, so a little bit of padding and insulation there. Okay. You could wear something like that.
But not gardening gloves.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, no.
Because I got the the orange ones with the leather fingers. That's what I would have.
I'd stay away from those.
Okay. These are cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So those, again, Home Depot, and then these are great too. They're called Gorilla Grip. These are a package you can get of 3 at like Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah. And those are good because you can actually still have a lot of mobility in your fingers and you can grip the obstacles.
When you're hanging from something, trying to pull up on something.
I mean, you can go with like a ski glove. If it's freezing cold, you can go with a ski glove, but that's not going to get you through an obstacle that you're going to traverse. You're going to have you need some dexterity. So a thinner glove at the point in which you're at an obstacle is going to be helpful.
All right. So what about footwear and from the top of your head?
So the biggest thing, even more important, I would say, than footwear is actually your socks.
Okay.
Because this is a game changer, either good or bad. So these are a great sock. They're called Darn Tough. They're a Vermont-based sock.
I just bought a pair actually for hiking. They're fabulous.
They're awesome. So these are their
guaranteed for life, no questions asked.
Right.
They're awesome.
Yeah, until you put like 100 miles onto them, and then you got to get a new pair.
Have you tried that?
Yeah, I've done that.
Like,
yeah,
sorry.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
So these are their Mountaineering Socks, and they're the thickest, I believe, sock. And these are excellent for winter or just general running.
Yeah.
They're going to protect your feet. And then just a trail shoe would be recommended, not like a sneaker or running shoe.
Right.
Like a trail shoe with a little bit of tread. Or they're called lugs, something like that. So if you got a
grip is a real issue. I know we had a lot of ice on the course last year.
Yes. So then you're looking at something that you're going to strap over your shoe, and these are called, they're like a yak track. Have you heard of yak tracks? That go over your boot or your shoe.
Kind of like a cleat that you can
they're like
hook on.
Crampons, if you will.
Yeah.
That will strap over your shoe, and they're made usually of rubber, and they'll go right over the toe and right over the heel. And at the bottom of these, you're going to have these crampons. This particular brand is
pretty aggressive.
They are. These are aggressive. I mean, you can run across a ice pond with these things.
So if we decide to run part of the course actually on the Nashua River instead of next to it,
you could do it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So these are a little bit more aggressive, but the company is called Hill Sound.
Yeah.
Yak tracks are really good. They may not be as aggressive as these crampons here, but something you definitely want something that you could probably throw over your shoe if it gets icy.
Well, I want to say, it's real important also to mention that one of the things about the event this year is we're having our after party at the Train 180 facility right there.
Right.
And I'm guessing you probably don't want people walking around in these, so you want something that you can take off.
Yes, that would be appreciated. Yeah.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll be like awfully loud in there.
It would be, yeah.
So what about your head?
Oh yeah,
you need some additional insulation. I can say.
So I'm biased, but I mean anything is going to be pretty good. Like a knit hat like this. that would be good. You don't have to get too picky. I mean, some people wear some crazy type of wool hats, but
people wear costumes and
costumes. I mean, if you get a buff is really good, and these are great because they can go all the way over your head, and you can pull this up over your nose. This would protect the lower part, and you can also put a buff on your head and your ears, and let the steam come out the top if it's not too cold.
Okay.
So, yeah, those two things for your head are good.
Now, I see you also brought some, it looks like Vaseline and underarm deodorant. Is that so you don't stink? And
this looks
so
like
you're shiny? Or
yeah,
what is this?
You could put it on there for that reason, but they actually serve a better purpose. It looks like deodorant, but it's called Body Glide, or this is an anti-chafe, and these are actually things that are very important, especially for the people that are doing multi-lap.
Yeah.
Chafing is a concern, especially when you're wearing a lot of gear.
Yeah.
People chafe inside people can chafe anywhere. So an anti-chafe that you can put on beforehand, before you start putting on all your gear, and or petroleum jelly or Vaseline is really good too. And those would, go on your inner thighs, anywhere that you might have like a backpack on or a hydration vest.
So speaking of that, what would you recommend people do for hydration during the event? Hydration and nutrition, sort of before and during.
Right. Well, there's going to be some water stations there before, obviously, and at the end. Is that?
There's a couple water stations throughout, and then there's one at the end as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be also helpful to have, and also just to cover. You probably want a shell of some sort on top of. This is like a jacket, thin shell that you want. You can take with you. What would be helpful is taking with you some sort of light hydration vest. This is more of like an ultra type of vest, but you can put like a little bit of water in here. You can put like a gel or whatnot in that. You can store your gloves. So if you bring in like multiple pairs of gloves, you can throw that. So if you do have a Camelback or a type of hydration vest, you can wear that on top and just store some stuff in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for nutrition and hydration sort of before the event, before people sort of set out on the course to make sure that they don't get, dehydrated and die
so there's a really good product I'll pump right now. It's called Tailwind. This isn't something that you have to go out and buy.
Sure.
But it's something that I use for ultra running and ultra races. It's just an excellent product that fuels your, it will supply you with calories as well as like your electrolytes at the same time. So that's hugely helpful. If you're going to be out there, especially all day.
Is that a drink or?
Yeah, so it's a powder form. You put it into your water, you mix it up, and you drink. It's called Tailwind. But just doing a little bit more, you want to drink a little bit more water before the race gets going. You want to prehydrate. Prehydrate's huge.
Absolutely.
So,
and obviously during the event, as you said, we have a couple of hydration stations set up.
Yeah, you'd think that in the winter, I don't need to, but it's just as important.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're going to be sweating a lot too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So last year's event,
Right.
do you remember all the obstacles that we had? Anything
Most
that
of them.
stood out for you that you thought was like super fun? Or
I would say that there's like, just to give people sort of an inside scoop, there's like your generic obstacle race obstacles, which is like walls.
Yeah.
You have carries, lots of kegs that you're going to be carrying around. You're going to be crawling. You're going to be going under something. But there's also a couple really challenging obstacles as well. Something unique that you won't see, like you said, the Keg Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's like a monkey bar type system with kegs, and that's, that's pretty difficult. So
it looks very intense.
Yeah,
for the people going through it.
It's fun. I mean, people love it. It's just it's challenging.
Well, we're trying to add. We're hoping to add a sledding kind of a thing, but there's a little bit of issues with the course we're trying to work through, but we're definitely looking to add a paintball obstacle this year.
That would be awesome.
So not shooting at the participants, but having them shoot at targets.
Right.
So some other things here that you brought along, I think for sort of physical preparation.
Right.
A couple months out, what sort of exercises should people be looking at doing in order to strengthen their body for this event?
Well, the first thing you'd want to do is, if you get your gear in check, you want to test it out. You don't want to really try anything new on race day.
Yeah.
So if you can get out there and run and just test out your gear, get out and play and run around on the trails and see how it goes. And
you do some preparation courses at your place, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be a big thing, just to test out your gear and see how it feels. And then obviously there's some different types of things that you can do for training that will help you out. So if you want, I can cover some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
if you don't mind, show us
sure.
a couple of suggestions. Don't ask me to do any of it because I'm old and I'm out of shape. But no, I will humor you.
So, well, the first thing is, with obstacle racing is there are things that you have to hang from typically. Like if it's a monkey bar or these kegs that we're going to do, you have to traverse across it, so your feet are hanging off the ground, and you're having to use your upper body for grip strength and your arms to support your weight. So one very simple thing is to just do dead hangs, which is to find a bar, a rings, a rope, or anything, and just hang. Your arms are nice and straight, and you just want to hang there for as long as you can. So practicing that dead hangs is going to be huge.
Okay.
The other thing that you want to do is there is going to be there's a Christmas tree drag.
There's a Christmas tree
Okay,
carry.
so
yeah.
I moved all those last year. Every single one of those.
I remember that.
Yeah, which is they range from Charlie Brown, 15 pounds, all the way up to probably 100 pounds. So you got a big array of weights and there were drags. Typically, I think most people were dragging them. So dragging something, if you really wanted to go hardcore and there's an elite field. So if they want to really take this seriously, you can find like a sandbag, something like this.
We'll hold that up so people can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
all right.
This is a 50 pounder. Okay, so something like this that you can either both carry or you can drag behind you.
Okay.
This would be really helpful. So moving around with the weight on you, on your person, out on the trails outside or on a treadmill, that would be big.
Yeah.
As well as dragging something behind you.
You just mentioned the trail, so before I forget, what I wanted to make sure is that everybody has a chance to see the course, and we've already published the map for what it's going to look like, and sort of here's a view of it. And these are all of the various obstacles set up, starting up at the mill yard and going up along the Nashua Canal down into Mine Falls, back by UPS and Whipple Street into the soccer fields, and then back along the Nashua River, ending back in the fields where we started, up by Train 180, where we're going to have our after party. Yeah. So if anybody wants to check that out, you can already do this. If I see people walking around on the trails carrying sandbags, I'll know that they saw our movie at least.
Yeah, they will. I mean, so my gym caters to everything that's relative to this race. So, I mean, if they can come to the gym, they can utilize the open gym or train with me or both. But if they can't, these type of things would be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also have some other things with you, some weights and a...
So this is just like you'd see a 5-gallon bucket at Home Depot or something. Yeah. This is filled with some nice rocks. So you'd fill this up, tape up the top, and you can, do
also for a carry.
Yep, because you're going to be carrying a keg, an empty keg that is, right? Which is roughly about 30 pounds. If there's a little bit of alcohol still left in it, maybe it's 35, which I think there was last year.
I think there was too.
On a couple of them. But you're probably anywhere from like 30 to 35, 38 pounds.
Okay.
So something in that range to practice, again, just either jogging or walking with the weight on you. Okay, that's going to be helpful because you're going to have to be doing that.
And you have some weight, some dumbbells with you as well?
These are heavy 40-pound dumbbells. So what you do with something like this is practice what they call a farmer's carry. So you'd hang these down to your sides, and this is for your grip strength. So you again just walking around, down the street, on the trails, on the treadmill, as long as you can until what will first start failing is your grip. So that's to work your grip strength. That's going to be helpful too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of work.
And then of course, just there is some running involved as well. So if you run, the better, all the better.
Did you do a multi-lap last year?
I didn't. I was behind the scenes, so I got to witness it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wish I had the chance to do something because that's right up my alley, but no.
Well,
yeah.
So you told me also you're planning a crazy fundraiser, you told me about. Tell me what you want to do here in this springtime.
Well, I've had these crazy ideas since I've been, in the facility that I'm in. Yeah. But one thing that I do a lot of, my go-to exercise a lot for these races is lunges.
Okay.
So walking lunges, and a lot of the preparation I do for like some of my ultra races, I'll lunge, up to a mile. And I thought one day,
you'll do a mile of straight lunges.
Right. Yeah.
And are you is that in the Guinness Book of World Records or something?
No, it's not at all.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. It helps to simulate, climbing hills and mountains. A lot of these races are on mountains. So my idea when it came, I was like, I wonder if anybody has lunged over the course of a 5K. I've done 3 miles, 3.1 miles of lunges. So I thought, what if I use this as part of my training? I could lunge a 5K, but also do it for charity. So that's when I reached out to you and I said, hey, would you be willing to support this insane idea?
Yeah, I am not going to suggest that anybody else participate in this event.
No, would I? It would just be myself.
Yeah, but I'm doing skydiving, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, you got me beat. I don't think I'd be able to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, this year, a couple other things we're going to be doing on the course or in the event that are different. We have the after party this year in your facilities. People get a good chance to see that, which is pretty great.
Awesome.
See what you're about. We're going to have some food and some beverages, some adult beverages, some music.
Excellent.
Up there. We're looking to maybe bring in some food trucks down near the start and finish area. Some music down there too.
Yeah, that will be. People will love that.
It's going to be a really nice day, and we're also excited. We also have Boston Billiards. They hosted the after party last year.
Right.
But this year we said, let's keep the after party closer to where we are, keep people together. But they've offered to be sort of the after party after the after party.
Yeah, keep the party going.
People can go there before they head on out of town and get good complimentary beer and a cup of soup type thing.
Awesome.
So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, we're so grateful for your support and your partnership. It's fun. I just feel like it's just amazing that you're in that facility, and the Bagshaw family has been very supportive of the event as well. So.
Right. Yeah, it's an excellent location. Gets people outside and break up the monotony of the winter, and it's just fun.
Yeah, you Pats fan?
I'm a huge Pats fan.
So it's huge. I've been introducing the date. I would tell people it's the weekend after the Pats win the AFC Championship and before they win the Super Bowl.
Important. That's an important targeted date. But you wouldn't get nearly as many people to sign up if it would conflicted.
No, absolutely not. Well, depending upon the year, but in general, with the Patriots,
this year,
you can count on there's going to be something there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dave, wanted to thank you again for coming in today and talking with us.
Thank you.
See you on January 25th at the Blizzard Blast.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for your help here today.
No problem.
All right. Appreciate it.